Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
This is going to be a little bit of an unusual video, Mr. Magazine.
You're not going to talk and I have to do all the talking?
No, I was actually going to talk.
Oh, okay.
For a long time.
Oh, good.
So, quite unusual. I'm going to actually talk. I'm going to run some numbers, and then I'm going to talk to you. No, you've actually got to listen to these, okay. Mr. Magazine. Today,
I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Well, also, as of about 2 o'clock this afternoon, I'm leaving Whatnot out of my equation over here. As of 2 o'clock this afternoon, I had sold roughly $227 worth of stuff across venues. I think one item on Etsy, a couple on Amazon, some stuff on eBay.
Okay.
9 items total. $227, 9 items.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Okay.
One item 2014, 2016, 2019, 2 from 2020, a 22, a 23, and 2 from 24. Okay?
Nice, yeah.
So 9 items across there, $227. Mm-hmm. Why am I mentioning this, Mr. Magazine? It's not bragging.
It goes to show you that long tail pays off.
That's part of it.
Okay.
I went on a buy today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to guess, depending upon how you want to count it, I got anywhere today for $200,
mm-hmm.
anywhere between, realistically, 250 items, 300 items, something like that, mm-hmm. is realistically what I picked up.
Yeah.
So basically, today, I sold $227 worth of stuff. You got to take the postage fees, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I did sell an item or two after it. So basically today, I sold, at the end of the day, I'll have sold 12 items, 13 items. After expenses, after everything, turned it into 400 items, 300 items. How many of our items I have out in the car?
Yeah.
And today is not an odd day. In other words, it isn't like, oh my gosh, I got lucky.
Yeah, it's average day.
I could do it any day that I really wanted to. If I'm
mm-hmm.
going to the flea, if I'm going to, I'm going to.
Yeah.
What does that tell you in general, just about our business plan and what you should worry about, what you shouldn't, and how things work? Now, you're in a little different spot because you have employees and you have a warehouse. But for somebody smaller like me working out of a house, what does that tell you about the business plan?
If you're paying, sounds like 75 cents an item roughly.
Probably a little less than that, when I really think about it.
And those items, if they're similar to the ones you just sold today, which I'm sure they are, you got $20-something a piece for them. So you're making whatever, a lot
25 times my money or whatever.
Yeah, so and those are things we do on a daily basis or weekly basis. So why would you not do that? Or why would you put your money in the bank when you can do something like that? And it's obviously paying off. You're selling the item, and that's how you grow your business, and that's how the long tail works. So to me, that's how it's supposed to be.
And it's why I don't sweat death piles. I don't, because I'm into them so cheaply.
Mm.
And things did slow up a little bit during the pandemic, and they could slow up again at some point. There's a couple of flea markets around here. Well, one of the flea markets around here is a drive-in. Well, and I go to that 15 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what if the drive-in people suddenly, which a lot of drive-in people do throughout the years, what if they suddenly realize that the property is more valuable as new houses and they sold it?
Yeah.
There used to be not a really good, but a decent flea market over in Buffalo. It's now a Walmart. I'm pretty sure that them selling that property to Walmart was a lot more money than they were getting from booth rental every Sunday.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. It better be.
Yeah.
It better be. And not that I would worry about it too much. If that went under, I could always drive to Syracuse because there's a flea market over there. If I said, I absolutely need to do this, whatever. But you just never know. There was the year with the pandemic where Madison Bachville, which I'd gone to for years and picked up inventory, all of a sudden that was canceled for a year.
Right.
And so on. So all these things could happen. What happens if, God forbid, something or other happens to me where I can't drive? Well, now I'm not going to Madison Bachville. I'm not going to Allentown. I'm not going to those things necessarily because I can't drive, medical thing where I can't drive or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it because I've got so many back items when you get down to it.
Yeah.
And if you're paying $1 and under an item and selling them for $20 on up,
Yeah.
really the only thing holding my business back at all is the inability to snap my fingers and have everything listed. And you're the same way in your business. If
Yeah.
you could just suddenly do that and everything is listed.
Oh, jeez.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be complaining about eBay.
Exactly. But I want to bring that up because you hear a lot of people saying, you're locking money up. Yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to argue with you. I am locking money up.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the stuff that I bought today, what I'm going to end up doing with it is I'm going to sort it out. And a lot of it's going to go over to Whatnot, which will get me money out of it quickly.
Yeah.
And some stuff is going to go on eBay that I don't feel will be able to sell on Whatnot, or whatever the case happens to be, or maybe it'll be Amazon or whatever. But it'll come in the house and get sorted out, and a lot of it will go on Whatnot, and the others will probably sit in a pile because another deal will have come along. Honestly, is what will end up having happened. But I'll be out of the deal because of Whatnot.
Right.
And at some point, I'll find the pile and I'll go, oh, that's cool. I forgot all about this stuff, and list it. I just found, well, I found it a while ago, but I finally listed it. It was a National Lampoon book that had been sitting in the basement. I don't know where I got it from. I don't have any idea at all what collection it came in. I listed it. It sold in 4 days on Amazon for $54. And it was just sitting down there.
Yeah.
I guess the other point that I wanted to make about this is you'll hear a lot of people talk about the importance of sell-through. And I do believe that in some markets, sell-through is very, very important. I would say with the things that we sell, it's not that important.
Right.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
At reasonable prices, not giveaway prices. So it's not like you're taking the first Maryland magazine and you're charging $50 on it. Yeah, that will sell through immediately, obviously.
Right.
Assuming you're at retail or 10% under retail, you're close to retail.
Yeah.
In the magazine section, what has fast sell-through? Exactly. I mean, that's all you needed to say.
But yeah, like here's an example. Bronny James just had a card in Sports Illustrated for kids. First card ever. Well, that was hot now. It might only be hot for a week. Caitlin Clark, hot now. So those things, will sell if you had. But again, unless you go to a newsstand and pick up hundreds of them, you're gonna have one, two.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get you rich selling one or two at a premium tomorrow. So.
Right, but even you want to talk about sell-through, we'll say 1930s Vogues. They sell well. I'm not going to tell you they don't.
Yeah.
But if it's worth $100 and you have it priced at $90 because you've been given a little bit of a discount off and you pick up 30 of them, you're not going to sell all 30 of them next week. You're not.
Right. Well, and that's the problem I have with customers that see my website and they have magazines they want to sell me, and they'll say, hey, I seen it on your site for $50 and $100. I want to get half. I said, well, it really doesn't work like that because, one, these don't fly off the shelves at these prices, number one. They may never sell, or if they do sell, it's going to be a year, 2 years down the road. And what about all the thousands of magazines I bought with them that don't sell? The cheaper ones, I go, it's an average. This is what I pay per this type of title. Take it or leave it. And 9 out of 10 times they'll sell to me. Because, they don't want to deal with it. Like, well, I could put it online and maybe I'll get 40. 2 months from now, I got to pack it up. If I sell 30 items, I got to pack all them up. And then guess what? They sell me everything just because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, so I wanted to give you some numbers on an actual day. Again, I literally spent $200. Probably could have spent less. The lady didn't really care, I don't think, what I gave her. But I had to give what I thought was fair. So I gave her $200. In fact, I apologized. I said, I know it's probably not a lot, but I can give you $200. She goes, okay. But it's a typical day. I sold the dollar amount of stuff essentially, or will have, of what I spent.
Uh-huh.
I will have turned 12 items into hundreds of items.
Yeah.
And as the theory goes with the long tail and the amount we pay on stuff, if I could get those items listed, those 300 items listed, and pick up $6,000 out of it and turn that into some other collection with 8,000 items, and then get those 8,000 items listed, and turn that into 160,000 items, and then
you have a sellable business now, but imagine having an extra 100,000 items worth $1 million. It's going to bring more value, and you're going to get more than what you paid for it, even adding it to your company if you're ever to sell it.
Right. If I can find a smart businessman who wants to expand. All right, if you could, hit the like button, and hopefully you enjoyed this deep discussion, like I said, with actual numbers as to exactly what it was that we picked up. Hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.